You said that the title in Spanish. What does it mean in
A new
English?
chapter.
Not as elegant. Or elegant.
Yeah. That's usually how that works when you go from Spanish to English. You can say stuff in Spanish that don't make no sense, but it sounds nice.
You know, pig's blood. Say it in Spanish.
Sucio naranja. That means dirty orange. But it sounds so nice in Spanish. It's my favorite thing to say in Spanish.
No, but Jake Reese, thanks for coming out, dude. Short notice. I forgot that I didn't release a podcast this week, so I was like, oh, let me put something together. So thanks for coming out, dude.
Just a last minute thought.
Well, you were the first one to say yes.
Oh, okay.
So that counts for something, right?
You just went through the alphabet and you got to J and like, all right.
No, I didn't go all the way to the alphabet. But like, also because I do feel bad because I left you off the list on the Tiger shit.
Dude,
no, but I get it.
I feel bad that you feel bad.
No, because like it sucks because like it is a late night show and you have to do certain things to get on that show. And so you figure, or I would figure, like I did everything that I was supposed to do and you still fucking left me off the list. I would get pissed off. But so yeah. So because of that, you were on the top of my messenger list. So I was like, oh, let me just hit him up, see if he wants to do the pod. So,
well, like for that, like for me, I was already debating whether or not I wanted to go that night because I was tired and I had to get up early the next day.
Yeah, which is fine. Like if it's your choice not to do the show, that's on you. But it was like I forgot to put you on the list. But to be honest, I made that list like 3 times. You were on 2 or 3 of those lists. So it was just the last one, the one that counted, that I left you off.
Yeah. Yeah, when it mattered.
When it mattered, yeah. So this is my apologies. I offered you a show, which is fine. I would put you on the show anyway. Well, you're the first one that I asked to do the show. Usually people ask me, hey, can I do your storytelling show? Because not a lot of people want to do stories.
Really?
Yeah. Because it is like people want to be on shows, but if it's a theme show, like a storytelling show, like there's people that I've booked, and then like I booked months out, and then like a month or a week before, like I'm about to make the flyer, they're like, hey, I'm not gonna do the show. I can't do the show. And I was like, that's fine, dude. So I don't really ask people to do the show. I wait for them to ask to be on the show, and then I say yes. So you're the first one that says you're doing my show, and you're like, yeah, whatever.
I didn't say whatever. No, man, I don't know. I don't think I've ever like asked to be on a show. Like I'm not that aggressive about it.
Why not?
I feel like for me, like that's right now I'm focused on the craft and everything. And when it comes to like being on shows, like if you think I'm funny, I feel like you're gonna ask me to be on a show. I'm not like that. Like I've got so much else going on like in my life that like, this comedy is the number one thing, you know? Like it's
Thanks. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but no, I'm just saying like
I have a life. I have like real things, you know. This whole thing, this fake thing that you spend so much time on doing.
No, I put a lot of time into it, but like getting booked on shows I think is great. Maybe that's why I haven't been booked on a whole lot of shows. But
yeah, I remember like one of the first conversations that we had was that you don't get booked on a lot of shows. Well, but like there's so many comics. There's so many comics. You know, so many open micers, so many comics that if you don't ask to be put on a show, people aren't gonna like just offer you up shows. Like, well, that's true and not true.
Yeah, I think there's been one show that I've like, I didn't even ask to be on it. I was like, hey, you got any spots coming up? And it was like, oh yeah, I got this for you. Yeah. But like what bothers me, and when we had that conversation, what bothered me, and I guess it's kind of like the point of the pod, right? Thing that pisses us off, is like, I hate seeing people that, I'm not like the judge of all comedy like that, but people that aren't funny. Or just aren't.
You'll learn, yeah.
You know what I mean? That just like, dude, like I've heard your shit, and it didn't seem like you care about your craft. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? Like I've listened to you for 6 months, and you're telling the same jokes for the past 6 months, and they haven't changed at all.
No, I get that, and like you'll learn fast, and you probably learned it already. That for comedy, it doesn't matter if you're funny, really. It really doesn't.
But you know what's fucking funny is every time I ask someone like, "How? Like, what do you do to get booked? Like, what does it look like?" And they're like, "Oh man, just be funny."
Yeah.
Like I've gotten that response like so many times. I'm like,
because
yeah,
they don't want to tell you the true story. Like how about you take pictures of somebody? How about you make their flyers? How
Yeah.
about you just go to their shows?
Yeah.
How about you smoke them out or buy them a drink or they don't tell you that stuff because they don't want to like take away from like their accomplishments. You gotta be people's buddy.
That's just. And I've got buddies, and I'm not going to be your buddy just so I can get on a show. That's just never going to be me.
Well, then you don't want it bad enough.
I don't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I guess I'm not sucking enough dicks. I don't know. But
I mean, you could do that too. I'm pretty sure people have done that for spots. But yeah, I mean, like, and the thing, like, what you have to do too, or I'm learning this too, is like nobody owes you anything.
Absolutely not.
Nobody owes you anything, no. And like you can't compare yourself to like, oh well, they're on so many shows, they're on so many flyers, because like, do you really respect what they're doing, or do you just or you just kind of like seeing or noticing that they're getting more opportunities because of who they know, what they do, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And once you come to terms with that, like that nobody owes you anything, like people are going to get opportunities that you're not going to get. Once you become okay with that, you're just going to like focus on, just trying to be funny. So that when you do get on shows, you're just like, well, now I'm the audience, whoever's paying for this is going to get a good show because I've been working on this for a while. Yeah, and
I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is it's kind of like eyes on my own paper. And I feel like like I said, I'm focused on the craft. I'm focused on, and that's one of the great things I love about Dojo and the Blind Tiger is like it's really helped me like work on those things that I wasn't really like thinking about or seeing about, like digging deep into like what I was saying and things like that. And so like you were saying, like, like doing the shows and like I've really, I feel like every show, like I've taken it as like, it was a stadium tour. Like I've got into my own head, like I gotta be great.
Yeah. And it also helps to be nice to people. I'm learning that. Like I know, and it's not for nothing. I know there's a lot of people that don't like me, but I give them reasons to not like me. And like not that I apologize for that stuff, but also at the same time, I know I need to chill the fuck out because I do want people to.
But that's good. That's good that you're saying that though, because I think like the way I look at it is like people are complex. Like no one's an asshole all the time.
Yeah.
And no one's an asshole for no reason. Like, or no one's nice all the time. Like, and so be able to recognize and say like, yeah, I could probably do things a little different here and there. That's what matters.
Yeah. But the thing that I do know is that you're going to know where you stand with me. Hopefully. That is my goal. You will never hear two sides of my opinion on one person because of the audience that's around, of the circle of who's around me.
Yeah.
What I can't stand, and what people do a lot, is that they will be so nice to somebody's face, which is fine if you're faking that, but don't come around a different circle and just fucking dog the hell out of that person that you were just ass kissing. I can't stand that shit.
I've never seen that. I don't know.
You're fucking lying. You're fucking lying.
That happens in the comedy scene.
I guess I'm the only one that sees it.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Because like, you don't have to like everybody. You don't have to like, but
you're not gonna.
Just don't fake it. I can't stand when people like fake it and then they will turn around and like talk so much shit about this person or do their shows, and I'm just like, you just talked shit about like their bullshit stage, whatever they fucking do, and you're just gonna go. He's like, yeah, why not? I was like, don't you respect yourself at all?
Yeah.
So I know I need to chill out. I mean, like the other podcasts that I do, we've had meetings about it, and then like we're gonna chill out a little bit, but also at the same time, it's all for fun and games, dude. If you're doing this comedy thing and you can't take a joke, maybe you shouldn't fucking be doing this shit.
I thought you just said you were working on being nicer.
Like I said, I'm working on it. I didn't say I was there.
No, you're right. I think that I mean, I've definitely said some things that I'm pretty sure have pissed people off.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think I'm naturally very introverted.
Yeah.
So like me on stage is not me outside of stage or in life in general.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I've found it hard to make friends in the comedy scene just because I'm not very like extroverted, and I'll make a joke and thinking that someone's okay with it, and then I'm like, oh, that I looked at their face. I don't think they like that.
Yeah. As an introvert, do you push people away purposely? Like, I'm going to give you a reason to not like me. So
if I don't like
in
you,
my head.
If I don't like you, like I'll actively make an effort to make sure that you know I'm not interested in being your friend.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a few people that I've met that, like, if I'm giving you one-word answers and I'm trying not to make eye contact with you, I don't really want to engage with you.
Damn, dude.
Then there are people that, like, I'm actively trying to engage with, like, when I come out,
yeah,
and I'm trying to actively engage, and then it feels like, oh, they don't like me, so I'm just gonna creep back and not be in this conversation anymore.
I don't know.
It happens a lot in group settings.
It does happen a lot, but and it's tough, dude, because I'm not all that outgoing as I appear to be. I'm not all that confident as I appear to be, for sure. You know, and people have said all the time, like, yeah, I could do what I do on stage because I've practiced all that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I've said that many times. Yeah, like it didn't just happen. You know, I've been practicing all that stuff. In conversations, like podcasts has really helped me out. You know, because we have to volley back and forth. You know, we can't have like dead air and all that shit. But to have like an active conversation just out of nowhere, it's just like, well, damn, dude, like this is tough. You know?
Yeah, like starting off a little small talk.
Yeah, and that's why, like, with this one, with this podcast, there's a reason. But like, we're gonna talk about something. If we talk about nothing, we're gonna talk about shit that's like been pissing us off. You know, and so there's always a goal. There's always like a plan.
Yeah.
There's no set structure, but there is a plan type of thing. You know.
Yeah.
Because I consider myself an introvert too, and now I'm just like, well, maybe you're just shy. I don't know, but I can't stand like small talk. If anybody asks me about the weather, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. You know, tell me about like when was the last time you cried? You know, like that's
your version of small talk.
No, well, that's not small talk. I don't like doing small talk, but I'd rather talk about that shit. Like
you'd rather just skip all over that and be like, you know,
substance.
Yeah,
I hate surface conversation.
Yeah,
that's what you have with that's Thanksgiving talk. You know, I'm saving that for the family. You know. But I mean, because you can't learn anything about like, oh, well, you know, this weather is kind of weird, you know?
Yeah.
It's cold and then it's hot and then it's cold again and then you know what? And it's hot, then it's hot. What the fuck did we just do? You know?
So what do you do in that situation if someone starts that small talk with you? Like, you said you're introverted, or you think you're introverted.
I mean, I act like it's an interesting conversation. I'm like, yeah, weather is kind of cold outside, you know? Especially at work, you know. It hasn't been that hard lately because I'm back and forth, work from home, in the office, whatever. And even when we're in the office, we're still like all spread out and shit. Like they're taking that shit seriously, which I really appreciate. So I really don't talk to that many people. Hi, good morning. All right, we'll see you next time. That's really all I say.
You said you really appreciate it, but not for the reason they're doing it. Like, you appreciate not having to interact with people?
Yeah, man. Even before this, like, I really didn't interact with people. I would go and you know, say good morning, and then I would wear like big headphones like this, so people knew that my ears are covered up. You know.
Yeah.
If they know that you're busy, if you look busy, they're like, not gonna bother this guy. You know, which isn't a very nice thing. I come off very standoffish, but
Are you busy?
Nah.
Most of the time, no.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I have no idea what I do at my job. Been there 10 years. Couldn't tell you. I mean, I work, but if you ask me, like I had a friend of mine that has stock in our company. He's like, hey, man, how's the stocks going? I was like, no idea. I have them. You know, they offered it to me. I clicked yes, and I'm involved in it. No idea. Don't care.
So take financial advice from Pat.
Yeah, man. I don't give a shit.
Got it.
Is cryptocurrency still a thing? I think it faded out. Nobody talks about it anymore. You know, I don't know. But Jake Reese, we jumped right in, dude. Plugs, Twitter, Instagram. How can people find you? Do you have anything coming up? This will come out
I
tomorrow.
have a Twitter. I don't use Twitter. I don't understand Twitter. I'm an old man.
Yeah.
I barely. 34. I just turned 34.
34.
Like I barely understand how to do Instagram. Like it.
What is there to understand?
It doesn't. I don't know. Like it. Like there are lots. I learn something new every day about Instagram. Oh, you can do this if you do that. Like did you know you like I know how to log in and look at stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
And Twitter, like the format on Twitter, just makes my brain hurt. Like I don't like looking at it. It hurts my eyes.
So, how can people find you on Twitter? How can people find you on Instagram? And what do you got coming up?
Instagram, Jake has jokes, and I'll be at Rebecca Creek on the 19th. Shout out Vic Mendoza, and I guess your storytelling show, which is
November 25th.
November 25th.
That's the fourth Friday of the month
at Blind Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I booked him out of guilt, I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine.
We'll see. No promises.
Yeah, I think he just found out it was a storytelling show. So it's going to be fine. We'll be fine, dude.
I got some stories.
Yeah, Rebecca Creek's cool, man. I did a show out there with Danny Engel, Gabe Farias, Drew Blues, and Vic Mendoza, maybe. Packed it out, dude. It was a fucking packed out place. I've never been out there before. And it was fun, dude. A lot of rich white people, but you're kind of white, huh?
Half, yeah. Mixed, yeah.
Half enough. But no, they fuck with you. They're well, you'll have fun. It's a good room.
I went there. I saw a show there with was it Fred and Irma, and I think Vic was on the lineup too.
Yeah.
It was a nice little room. It was packed out too when I went.
Yeah.
A lot of white people.
So why don't you try to? And I'm really bad at social media. I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I post the same shit on every platform. The same shit. Don't know why, because I don't know what else to do on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Why aren't you more active? Especially if it's it's supposed to be like a business tool.
Yeah, well, so when I first started doing comedy, I started using Instagram and TikTok more, and I had a creator profile, and it was public, and everyone could just follow me or whatever. But then someone from my job found the page and started following, and that just isn't what I want. People from my job finding me, no one at my job except for a handful of people know that I do this, and I'm trying to keep it that way. Even those people that know, I was well, I guess. But I asked them, don't tell anybody, you know, because it's not that I can't do this and do my job. It's just that I wouldn't want to deal with having to explain to my bosses if they had questions about this or that or whatever, or if they saw my stand up or my bits. I don't think that it would be something that. I couldn't get fired for it, but it definitely would be a conversation I just wouldn't want to have.
Why? Because your racism jokes. Is that why?
No, those. I mean, they're pretty racist where I work at anyway.
Your
so they're cool
pro-Trump stance. Is that what you're afraid of?
It's definitely not the pro-Trump because business. He's pro-business, so they're cool with that. No, I mean it's really just about I don't know, they couldn't fire me for that, but if I wasn't doing a good job and they wanted to find a reason to fire me, they could find a way to use that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's not something I really want to put out there in that universe as far as at work.
It is tough because even though the risk versus reward is not as great as somebody else that is in the business. We have a lot more to lose because of our day jobs.
And I have a good job. I make good this isn't it's not something I want to lose. You know what I mean? It's not if I lost it, it'd be oh well. No, it'd be oh fuck me. It's you know what I mean? So it's definitely not something that comedy hasn't been. It's been great and it's been fun and I love it. And I want to keep doing it, but it's not at the point to where I can be lose my job and be well, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I don't. It's gonna be.
That's tough, man. I mean, I mean, I wouldn't want to lose my job, but I would be okay if I lost my job. But also at the same time, I don't want people at work to know what I do.
I would be okay because if they told me, you either got to quit doing this or you're fired, I wouldn't quit doing this.
Yeah.
Like this feeds my soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the creativity and stuff like that. That feeds my soul.
Yeah.
My job doesn't feed my soul. Like it pays the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Pays the bills well, but I can find another job.
What were you doing before comedy, like creatively? Because when did you start comedy? How long?
7 months ago.
7 months. Shit.
March, yeah.
Okay, man, you're very new at it.
Very new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, the first 6 months, I didn't talk to anybody.
Really?
Didn't
I
talk
hear that
to
a lot.
anybody. Yeah. I went. I signed up. I did my shit. I stuck around for 2 or 3 more comics. I literally like counted them. I was like 1, 2, 3. Okay, I could leave.
Why 3? Or why stick around for just? I mean, it sounded like you didn't want to stick around.
Because I knew if people. I noticed when people like got on stage and then just walked out.
Yeah.
I noticed it, so I would only assume that other people would notice that stuff. So like 3 is a good number, especially if it's this open mic scene. You know, it could be painful, it could be torture,
Most of the time it is.
or it could be a learning thing. You know,
Yeah.
so I would stick around for 3, and I mean, at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll stick around all night. But yeah, I didn't really talk to that many people at the mics because again, I didn't know anybody outside of like who they were on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I still had a podcast at the time, and I would talk to people and bring them on the podcast and then learn more about comedy and all that stuff. But yeah, man, 6 months. I didn't do a show until I was a year in. All I did was mics. I wasn't in a big hurry to do shows or get on people's shows. And then about a year in, I booked my own show. And had people come out, and then just started getting booked and shit.
Yeah, I've listened to some of your your first podcast.
Yeah, right. Dog shit.
No, it wasn't dog shit.
Yeah,
but you could definitely see the growth. Like listen to the Dude Man Hummer Bro now, and this one, and I can see the growth.
Yeah,
I listened to one where you interviewed Josh Cabaza.
That was the first one.
That was the first one.
That was my very first one.
Get out of here.
Very first one.
I wouldn't have said that was your first one.
Yeah.
But
I was the first one. Did it at the Green Room at the
LOL.
No, the one downtown, River Center Comedy Club, in the Green Room, had everything written out, and then I was like, "So when you did this, that was cool, huh?" Yeah.
Wow. That was the first one. I wouldn't have said that.
Very first one. Yeah.
No, it was a good listen. Josh Cabaza is awesome. I mean, listening to him and his experience and stuff like that, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So I can imagine like you hadn't done a show yet when you did that? No.
I knew he won like funniest in South Texas.
Yeah.
And so I knew that he was somebody. He wasn't just an open micer at the time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to and the whole plan was because I came in too late. I started at 35. I didn't start comedy until I was 35. So the whole plan was to learn from these people. So those were the people that I went to first to ask to do the podcast, and then I just started asking anybody at open mics. I was like, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast?" And they'll say yes. They just want a microphone. They just want attention, and they want to talk. And so,
how's it going?
So it was easy. It was easier before people knew who I was, and now people are like, "Nah, man, like."
I've heard about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're friends with so and so, or you do this, or you said this about so and so. So now go fuck yourself. And I was like, all right, that's
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, fuck me. That's fine.
It's not. I don't go like, but why? Like I know. I get it. And I mean, I it's fine. I'm very reluctant to say I'm sorry or I apologize because I am not sorry. I don't apologize. You should learn to take a joke. I had this one girl, and this is supposed to be about you, but let me tell this one story.
No, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is something that pisses me off.
Okay.
Comics that don't know how to take a joke. I had a girl, and I don't want it to be like, oh, because it was a girl, you said this, that, the other. I would have said the same thing about a guy. But I had a girl come up to me, and she said, because I commented on her set or whatever, and right after the show, she said, hey, what's your name? I'm this. Don't ever fucking disrespect me. I was like, and then she walked off, and I was like, I'll tell you why I said what I said. I was like, I said something, the crowd laughed, so it was obviously a joke. Don't ever fucking disrespect me. And I was like, your first joke was making fun of a handicapped person.
Yeah.
You know, who's been hearing the same shit all night.
Every day.
Every day, but he was hosting the...
but that night, for sure,
He was hosting the mic, and everybody was talking about him. I was like, dude... And I mean, so he's heard it. But like, you can't disrespect somebody as a joke and then tell somebody who said a joke, don't fucking disrespect me.
Yeah.
So I can understand why she doesn't like me or her friends or all that stuff.
Well, look, here's the thing. You can joke about anything. You can't joke about anything with anyone. But when you're a comedian and you're in this scene, you should expect a joke. And if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. And it was like you don't have to, you know what I mean? And as far as that situation, I the way I look at that is, I don't know. I feel like it's immature to not, if you're that bothered by something, you have a conversation like, hey, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just like.
No. I would have very well had like a conversation with her.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But she did, and then she tried walking off. And I tried talking to her while she was walking away, and she was like, which is fine. But also at the same time, like it was just a riff. I was riffing. I pissed off guys too, just riffing on stage, and then I tried, you know.
Well, here's like I can get like an audience member like not liking a joke. Like they're not. I mean, they're there to hear jokes. If they didn't find it funny, that's cool. Yeah. But like another comedian, I don't get that. Like if you're offended by the joke, I don't think you really understand comedy.
Exactly.
Like I don't think you really.
Exactly.
This isn't for you.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
So 7 months in, sorry, I didn't mean to take over. This is your podcast.
Well, I did have a question.
What's up?
So Kabaza was your first podcast.
Yeah. How
nervous were you? Were you nervous to ask him to be on the pod? Like, was that like?
No, not nervous to ask him to be on the pod. Because I didn't know that much about him. It's not like I just knew that he was the winner of all this stuff. I didn't know that he had like all this stuff, that he was doing all this stuff, that he knew how podcast works. Like I didn't know any of that shit.
Oh wow!
You know,
because like right now I'm thinking like, man, if I was gonna ask Kabaza to be on the podcast or like just talking to him in general, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, so I just like I don't know. I just thought like, man, Pat must have been like nervous as hell to ask him.
No,
like, you were just.
No, I wasn't that nervous. I would probably be more nervous now, I guess. But yeah, I've had him on. Well, I've had him on two different ones.
You just had him on
Duderman, Homie Bro, yeah. But I've had him on the Glass Clown podcast. I used to record at his studio. But the very first one, my very first podcast, the very first one I ever released was with Joshua Kabaza. But I mean, I was nervous, but I wasn't as nervous as one would be if I knew all this stuff about him.
Yeah.
I just met him. I just learned about him and all that stuff.
Okay, back to me now.
Back to you now. What were you doing creatively 7 months ago? 8 months ago?
Nothing, man.
Really?
Really. I mean, I have hobbies and interests that I do for like me. I've always like stuff like that. But like being creative, like as far as like, you know, writing or anything like that, like it just wasn't, I mean.
Nothing.
Nothing. I can't.
Karaoke.
Every once in a while I would do karaoke. Yeah. Like, but give me a microphone and a stage, like I'll do something on there. But no, like it just, you know, in high school I did a lot of theater and improv, and I love that. But like right out of high school, you know, I had my daughter, and from that moment on, it was just I got to provide, and I got to work. Yeah. I worked 2 jobs. You know, and then eventually I got promoted at one of them and moved up through there, and you know, just really didn't have I don't know, it just wasn't really something that I made a priority. Which, you know, looking back on it, you know, now like it wasn't a good thing for me, you know.
Not having an outlet.
Not having an outlet. Yeah. You know, so which is why, like I said earlier, like if I had an ultimatum between my job or comedy, like I'd quit my job because I wouldn't want to put myself in that position again to where I don't have this outlet. And it's something that I love. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just for me, it's not a hobby, but it's not where I want it to be yet either. Yeah. It's somewhere in between right now. But I don't ever want to stop doing it. Like nothing's this, like I said, it feeds my soul, man. Yeah. Like just being creative. Even like I did a play like last month.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, just that creativity, performing, I guess, in general.
So the one that you did last month, before that, you only did theater in high school?
Yeah.
Damn. So that was the last time, like a long time. How come you didn't pursue theater, like community theater, or do anything like that until recently?
Didn't have time.
Oh yeah.
You know, like working 2 jobs, you know, I working 40 hours at both, and then on top of being a dad, like, you know, taking care of my kid and spending time and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got promoted, you know, and I could work one job like financially,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I was still working 50, 60 hours a week, you know, as a manager. And so and I had to move like kind of far away from my daughter. Like I moved around. I lived in Waco, I lived in Dallas, Austin.
Where are you originally from?
Killeen.
Killeen?
Yeah, that's what my daughter lives in Killeen. That's where I grew up at.
Oh, damn.
I was born in Sacramento. I moved to Killeen when I was 7. And so just moving around, and you know, my days off were on days off. I had to go. I went to my daughter. I drove 2, 3 hours sometimes to go see my daughter on my days off. So just didn't have time for nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but after through COVID and everything, like it was just. I had talked about it for a long time. Like if anyone ever asked me, like, if you could do anything beside, you know, if you could do anything right now, like what would you do? Like what would you do as a career, whatever? Like I always said stand-up comedian.
Really?
Like I always said actor or stand-up comedian. Like that was my response.
Yeah.
And
actor or stand-up comedian?
Stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But like I want to act. Like I like acting.
Mm-hmm.
But like stand-up comedian was like what I would say. And it's funny, like my partner that I'm with now, Sophia, like on our first date, like we talked about that. And like I said that on our first date. And
does she do comedy too?
No.
I don't know why. I thought I saw her on stage once.
No.
Okay, sorry.
No. That'd be funny. But no, like you know, I told him that on our first date, and then you know, it was after we've been together for a little over a year, and you know, I'd always talked about it like that's I always want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know, didn't do it. And they found like an open mic at Upstage. They're like, I felt like when we just moved to Windcrest, like that December.
Okay.
And so like December to like February, they're like, it's right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's right down the road. And finally what's fun, actually, so Bobby has it where you can sign up online for the open mic, right? But at that time, he was also doing the free workshop before the open mic. And you could sign up online for that as well. So the first time I was going to go, I thought I signed up for the workshop. And so I thought I signed up for it, but then like I got to work late and I didn't get a chance to go. But I was like, all right, let's just go to open mic still. I want to, you know, I'll see it, check the scene out, you know, make sure, you know, just see what it's like. And then next week I'll go up. And so we get to the open mic and we're sitting there and waiting for it to start. And then Mary Picarazzi gets up there. Shout out Mary Picarazzi. She gets up there and she goes, all right, first comedian of the night, Jacob Reese.
Oh, yeah, the first?
I thought I signed up for the workshop. I signed up for the open mic. So she calls my name. I look over and I'm like, because I thought that Sophia signed me up. And so I was like, what did you do? What did you do? And then Mary's like, come on, Jacob. I froze. I didn't get up.
Damn, really?
I had nothing. I wasn't ready. I mean, I had stuff in my head, but like, I couldn't do it.
Oh.
So I sat right there. And then Mary goes, all right, you asshole.
That's Mary.
And then, you know, she has to run off stage because she didn't memorize. She only memorized the first name.
Yeah.
So she had to run off stage
and
then get the list and then go back there and call a second person up. I went up to afterwards and I was like, hey, I'm Jacob Reese.
You stayed for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I went afterwards and I was like, hey, I'm Jacob Reese. I'm so sorry.
Man, I would have let it go. I would have let it go.
I felt bad. Like, I felt bad.
No, you know how many people have signed up and not gone up?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because it was my first open mic ever. And so.
You never seen an open mic before ever?
Nah. Like, I'd never been to nothing like that.
Damn, dude.
But the next week, I signed up and I went up and just been going ever since.
Yeah.
But, man, what were we talking about? Yeah, so like that, it was just something that I had always talked about doing, and then finally got the push to do it. You know, I had
What do you mean? Like, what was it that finally said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna fucking sign up for something"?
You know, I think it was like a chain of events. So I had gotten COVID the September before, and it was like real bad. Like I almost went to the ER.
Was that
like,
September or December?
September.
Okay.
Sorry.
It sounded like both. I was like, did you make a new month?
You know, it's what I do.
You damn kids making up months.
Kids. Okay. But no.
December. Anyway, sorry.
That September, I had gotten COVID, and like, it was really bad. Like, I thought that I was like dying.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard to breathe. Like, a fever, like, was really bad. And so, like, I made it through that. You know, it got better after a couple of days, but I almost went to the ER because like it was tough. And then like a little bit after that, we went and saw Christella at LOL, and Tori had opened up for Christella, and then Sophia had already known about the Blind Tiger, but had never mentioned it before. But then we found Tori, and then we started going to Blind Tiger. So I started seeing shows there, saw Christella. And then I have a friend who's a local artist. His name's Maverick. He does like a lot of painting and stuff like that. And he had like a showcase, and he was doing like a Q&A with someone during the showcase or whatever. And he started talking about like what inspired him and like giving him the push, and it just hit me like I got to do this. Like hearing him talk about his passion and what he wants to do and his creative outlet and stuff, like I was like, I need this. I need what he has, and still wasn't quite there yet. Like Sophia had to like push me a little bit, but like after that first open mic, man, I haven't looked back, and I just really, for me, man, like I just really want to be, I just want to be great, man. Like I want to be good. Like I want to. I want that. I want to put the time and effort in to like be respected, I guess, as someone who really takes it seriously, and that's just really what I've been focusing on like the past couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that play come about? The play that you were in. What was it? What was the play?
It was Un Nuevo Capítulo. It was from a local playwright, Patricia Zamora, who's amazing, fantastic. She is also an actress. She travels and does theater and plays and stuff like that. And actually, another comic, Jade Esteban Estrada, the Prada Enchilada. I met him, through an open mic at Tandem, and then we were on a show together. I started following him on, Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and he directed the play. And so he posted for auditions and stuff, and I wasn't able to make the auditions, but I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I'm not able to make it, but I'm really interested. Can I audition another time? And so we went through there and we talked about it, and, he was kind enough to bring me on board and along, and man, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
And that took up more time than comedy has taken up at all. Like we were doing rehearsals 3-4 nights a week.
Yeah, dude.
From like 7 to like 10, sometimes 6 to 10.
Yeah.
And so, luckily through comedy, I met him and got that opportunity. And he's great. He's fantastic. He taught me a lot, not just about, acting, but just being a professional in the business, and how to carry yourself like that. Because that's what he is. I mean, he's a professional, and just really getting to learn from him was really great.
What would you pursue more if you're like you have limited time, you got to work and all that stuff? What if like there was more acting opportunities? Would you do that, or is it stand up that you want to pursue or focus on? I guess.
Right now I want to focus on stand up, but I also don't want to turn down any opportunities. If it's something that fit, and that play just kind of happened at the right time, it just kind of fit. I was able to make it work with my work schedule and like family. And but comedy is a little more flexible. It's really on my own terms. Doing a play and doing like anything like acting in general is a real big time commitment. You're on other people's schedules as well. You have a whole cast, you have a director, producers. It's not just it's a lot, and so to take that on, like you really have to make that commitment, not just for yourself but for those other people, to respect them.
Yeah.
And so that's hard. And so I don't think that it'd have to be the right fit right now. But
was it like a comedy type of play? Was it?
Yeah, it was a comedy. It was more kind of like was it Three's Company? Kind of like style like sitcom-ish.
You said the title in Spanish. What does it mean in
A New
English?
Chapter.
Not as elegant. Or elegant.
Yeah. That's usually how that works when you go from Spanish to English. You can say stuff in Spanish that don't make no sense, but it sounds nice.
You know, pig's blood. Say it in Spanish.
Sucio naranja. That means dirty orange. But it sounds so nice in Spanish. It's my favorite thing to say in Spanish. El sucio naranja.
But doing that play, did you learn anything that you could carry over for comedy? Doing that play, like timing wise and delivery wise and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, there was a lot of comedy in it. I mean, it was also dramatic. I mean, it was like a kind of like a love story a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. It was two people getting engaged and married in the play and whatnot. But there was a lot of comedy timing and just really, you have other people on that play with you, and you have to work with them to kind of get that comedy out sometimes and whatnot. But still, you still working on like the timing for the audience. Mm-hmm. And what was crazy, like there were sometimes because we did like six. It was a 2-week run, 3 shows each week, and there were some shows like we would have to wait like for like laughter, like to say your next line. You have to like was a laughter break, kind of mm-hmm. wait a second. And then there were shows where people didn't laugh at that line, and so you'd wait for it, and then it didn't happen, and then you had to keep going. Or there are times where you didn't expect laughter, so and then you heard it, and you had kind of like instantly like wait for it. And that kind of happens at comedy too sometimes. Mm-hmm. You think that line's gonna hit, and so you're not ready. You're not thinking about the next line, and then there's like silence. You're like, okay, I'm gonna move on. Yeah. And so things like that kind of related. But yeah, man, this is supposed to be things we that was it that we don't like or whatever. But that play, man, I think the only thing I didn't like, I would say, was really just like that time commitment was rough. Making that time commitment. Yeah, and that's why I said comedy is just so much more flexible. It's on your own terms.
Because it's just you do as much as you can or you want or that you have available. Have you noticed anything in your stage presence that's changed since the play?
I'm much more aware of the audience.
Yeah.
Because we did it at the Black Potion. I don't know if you've been there or not.
I haven't been there yet, man.
It's a real it's the stage isn't that far from like the seats and stuff, and so it was very interactive with the audience sometimes. Sometimes I was like not much farther than I am from you, like delivering my lines from like the audience, mm-hmm. and so really getting to like see their reaction and connect and engage with them. And like I said, that timing, waiting for that hit or not waiting on it, was really nice. And so just really getting to really work on that.
Yeah. Cool, man. So Pat out of hell. The idea is to vent and make fun of the things that are pissing us off, man. I got a list, but if you're prepared, man. What kind of shit's pissing you off right now?
Crocs.
What?
I fucking hate Crocs.
You ever gave them a shot?
Anyone who knows me and loves me knows that I fucking hate Crocs.
You hate seeing them? You hate wearing them?
I hate seeing them. I hate people who wear them. Unless you're like a nurse who's on her feet all day long or something like that.
Yeah.
In a respectable position, and those shoes make your feet feel better. I guess I'll give you a pass, but
it's so weird how popular they got because I
don't get it.
They're so ugly,
disgustingly ugly.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, but they feel. I don't care. Other shoes can make your feet feel good and not look that bad.
You remember their first appearance, their first time being like worn.
Like the first time I saw them being worn? Or the first time someone ever worn them? What do you mean?
Yeah, the first time like somebody ever wore them. No. You remember that movie, Idiocracy?
Really? That
everybody wore Crocs.
Really?
Yeah.
That fucking makes sense.
Because they were so ugly. They were so ugly. They were so simple. Why would everybody wear these shoes? And then all the idiots on that thing, they all wore Crocs. And then they blew. I don't know if they blew up because of that. I think just time wise. I think time wise they were like very new, and so they just got in. Like they just needed something that was uniform,
So people watched that and didn't get the joke.
I guess they didn't notice it, And then like everybody, thugs. I've seen thugs with face tattoos in Crocs. I was like, that's not tough.
It's
I almost wore them because like they do look comfortable and like I appreciate comfortable like feet or whatever, or footwear. Yeah.
No, like friends and family have like jokingly made joke, "Oh, I'm gonna buy you something for Christmas or your birthday."
Yeah.
And they even before Santa, people thought this was a bit for me. It's not a fucking bit. If you buy me Crocs,
Yeah.
if you wear them around me, I am instantly angered, and it's irrational. It's completely irrational. But I don't. It's God. They're so ugly. Why would you choose? I don't think I'm the most fashionable person in the world.
Yeah.
But I can look at those and know.
I wouldn't do it. Or if I did, I would just wear them like around the house.
And then people put like charms on them and stuff.
That I don't get.
Like
people went into business selling those charms. I don't know if that's like
props to them.
If
but
they made any money,
you're part of the problem.
But yeah, I mean it's cool for kids. I know like my niece and nephews, they have Crocs, and
they don't get a pass.
To be honest, my wife just got a pair of Crocs, but she's on her feet a lot at work. So
if my partner Sophia ever got a pair of Crocs, they already know it's over.
Yeah. You ever had respect for somebody and then you see them wearing Crocs and you're just like, I don't like you anymore?
Yes.
Really?
More than one occasion.
Damn.
I'm telling you, it's irrational that a piece of footwear would make me that angry, but it does.
When did that start? Like, what was it? Was
the
it
moment I saw them?
Really?
Yes, they have been they're ugly. They're hideous. I don't understand. Yeah. It'd be like putting a pasta bowl on your head. Why? Why would you put a pasta strainer on your head? It's the same thing as putting that on your feet. Like, I don't.
What if they're like the most comfortable footwear ever?
Doesn't matter.
What if like they like solve like all your back issues, all the pains? If you put on Crocs and you're walking around, you're like, damn man.
There's other solutions.
Walking on clouds.
There's other solutions.
There's no way you're gonna be turned.
Nope.
Wow, man, that's intense. It's
never.
Yeah,
like if someone had to try to like make a bet with me and was like, oh, if you lose, you have to wear Crocs, I wouldn't make the bet because I would not risk the chance of me having to wear Crocs.
It's that serious.
I wouldn't do it.
Damn.
I don't like losing in general, so I don't like gambling.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it. Damn, definitely wouldn't even risk it.
That's insane. I mean, like to be so.
It doesn't make sense. I'll admit it. It doesn't make sense that I'm that it makes me that angry. I'm getting angry talking about it right now.
I know. Is there anything else that you see people like wearing that has that same effect?
Not to that extent, no.
Not to that extent, huh?
No, it's Crocs.
I think they're ridiculous. I don't think they're like enough to make me angry. But that like, it's funny that sets you off. That one thing will set you off. That's fucking hilarious, dude.
I don't think there's anything else in the world really, which is sad because I should be a lot more angry about other shit in the world, that matters.
Yeah,
but
nah, man,
Crocs does it for me.
It's better to be angry about stuff that doesn't matter because you could let it go, or you could like just give it a break. You know, it's stuff that really matters it doesn't stop. You're just like, I'm just gonna be angry about this all the time. What else besides Crocs piss you off?
Traffic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I get road rage sometimes.
You ever play this game? I like to play this game where it's like a woman or old person. Yeah. And if they're both,
you gonna throw Asian in there too? You're gonna hit all.
Hey, come on.
What?
We're not gonna do
sexist, ageist. You might as well be racist while you're in there.
Yeah, I mean, guys are bad drivers if they have if they're a new car or if they're on the phone. But most bad drivers are either old or female, and you get extra points if they're both. Yeah,
these are thoughts and ideas of Patrick Christopher.
Yeah, dude.
Do not condone or endorse.
Well, what about traffic pisses you off? Like, is it the drive?
It isn't necessarily the drivers that piss me off. I guess in a way it is. I hate traffic when I don't understand the reason. Like when there's constructions, I get it. You lane closure, things are gonna. But like when I'm sitting in traffic or like, you know, like I'm having to like get over lanes and then go past these people because they're not driving fast enough. Mm-hmm. And I get up there and I look and there's nothing. It's just people not driving fast enough. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, people not driving that not even driving. I'm not talking about speeding, like not even doing the speed limit. Mm-hmm. Like that aggravates me. Like do at least the speed limit. And if you're not going to do that, stay out of the far lane.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
But even if you're not in the far lane, do the speed limit.
Yeah.
Like that's all. That's all.
What kind of driver are you? How many accidents have you been in?
That were my fault.
No. How many accidents have you been in?
3.
3.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got a speeding ticket?
Ooh, it's actually like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Do you think you're a good driver?
I think I'm a good driver. I'm not always a safe driver.
Why?
Because I don't like going slow. Like I hate going slow.
Yeah.
I'm Ricky Bobby on the road.
Yeah.
It's something I've gotten better about.
Do you text and drive?
Sometimes. I'm just I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who are you to judge? You are just as bad as these people. See, I could judge people because I'm a fucking great driver. I'm a slow driver. I'm a careful driver, and I refuse to text and drive. Done it a couple times, but I refuse to do it for the most part.
Are you a slow driver like you do under the speed limit?
No, I don't. I'm a careful driver, but I respect the lanes. I know, I stay in my lane if that's what I'm doing. If I'm not like going above the speed limit by 10, 15, 20, then I won't be in the fast lane. I'm mindful of that stuff, but it's just people like that are, and I haven't had an accident in fucking decades because I am very cautious about bad drivers. And I'm very cautious about people that aren't paying attention. But it's hard to hate something that you also may create yourself.
But I'm not trying to judge anybody. The thing I hate is people who don't do the speed limit. Like at the end of the day, that's what I hate. It's not that you don't have to do 10 miles over speed limit.
Yeah.
There are times I'm doing like 5 or 10 over, and then some asshole in a lifted truck gets behind me, and I'm like, dude, like, okay, I'll get over. But like,
I don't get over.
If I'm in the far lane and I'm not going fast enough for them, I'll get over. Unless they ride my ass.
If I'm going fast, yeah, especially if they ride my ass. I'm not going anywhere.
I've been real petty about it. Someone's been got behind me and rode my ass, and I dropped down to like 20 miles, 30 miles on the speed limit and just waited. I made sure that they couldn't like get over. Like I matched with the person next to me. Like, all right, what are you gonna do now? Like, just see. Okay, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, dude. And shit like that causes bad traffic.
But yeah, I guess I'm part of the problem.
Yes, dude.
Man.
That's fucking hilarious. I like to when I catch people on their phone, fucking honk. I fucking honk, scare the shit out of them.
And then they cause an accident because you scared the shit out of them?
No, they get mad. I've had people like flick me off, and I've had their passengers flick me off. Like, why are you fucking honking the horn? I was like, get off your fucking phone. You damn fucking whatever. So, okay, you don't think if you had to categorize bad drivers, who would be the top bad driver that causes traffic?
That causes traffic.
Yeah.
Slow drivers, number one.
So you're okay. You're very woke when it comes to this stuff. You won't admit that maybe females are worse drivers than males.
When it comes to slow drivers, I think that I've seen a variety of people be slow drivers. But am I going to say that women are worse drivers than men? I don't have the facts to back those up, buddy. I'm just saying.
Of those 3 accidents that you've been in, have they been with men or with women?
Mixture. The one that was my fault was an old couple, and like
they were both driving at the same time.
No, it was like I think, but it was my fault. But like I think I can't remember which one was driving, but like the lady went away in an ambulance. I felt so bad. I don't know if she lived or not, to be honest. It was. I mean, she seemed fine.
Yeah.
She was like talking and walking, but she went away in an ambulance because I don't know why.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me.
Was she driving?
I honestly don't remember. This was like...
You don't remember the drivers of the people in the accidents?
No.
I think you're afraid to admit it. I bet. I would put money. I would put like, if I lose, I'm going to wear Crocs for a year, that 2 of those 3 drivers were female.
One of them for sure was not. I remember vividly. It was one guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm pretty sure the other one was a guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't believe that. I think if it was a guy, then both those accidents were your fault. Then, or 3 of those accidents were your fault. I understand you're trying not to help me prove my point because it is a sexist thing to say. But at the same time, it's facts.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
I have eyes. I'm out on the streets too. I see these people.
Where's your sources for these facts?
I see it. I mean, I don't document it.
So it's your own lived experiences.
I keep track up here. Yeah, I'm not saying
that doesn't make it a fact, buddy. I'm just letting you know.
It's fact enough. It's fact enough for me to say that stuff. And it's a game I play, and the points is just more rage. That's what you win. The grand prize is rage.
Yeah, I got enough of that.
Yeah, dude. Nah, man, traffic is fucking. It could ruin my day, dude. Like the fact that I only go to the office one day a week. Sometimes twice a week changes my whole vibe. I fucking hate it. It's been that bad to have such a long break and then have to be in traffic. It's the fucking worst.
So you didn't like during the shutdown? You didn't have to drive and go anywhere?
Nope.
I did.
Work from home.
I did. It was fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
No one was on the road. It was. I didn't have road rage at all. It was fine. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I wish we could do that all the time. I wish people didn't have to go anywhere. I wish that shutdown lasted forever because it was amazing.
Yeah, man, I liked it. I like going out. I like being around people. I just don't like having to drive to and from work.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
So you go like what 2-3 times a month, or?
Huh?
You go to the office like 2-3 times a month, or?
2 times the first week of the month, and then just once a week. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just like, why do we have to go in? If I'm doing the work from home, and it really gets in the way of all the other things that I'm could be finishing or working on besides my job, but it is what it is.
Work from home.
Crocs, traffic. What else? Well, give me one other thing that's not ridiculous.
That's going to be relatable to most people.
Here's why I like doing this podcast, because I do like, and I know, I don't think people get it. I don't think people understand it, but I do like knowing that other people get pissed off about stupid shit. I get pissed off about stupid shit all the time. And for a while, I was like, why am I the only one that gets so pissed off about stupid shit? And I realized I'm not. We just don't talk about it enough, or I'm not aware of it enough. So even though I think the Crocs is ridiculous, I think so far it's traffic. Valid, very valid. Crocs. To be that passionate about the Crocs,
I agree with you. It does not make sense.
It's ridiculous.
It's completely irrational. I will not defend that it's rational. It's not.
I do have my Crocs would be that I don't like left-handed musicians. In my jokes, I say I just don't like left-handed people, full stop. But it's just like left-handed drummers. I can't stand left-handed drummers. But last night was the first time that I got a negative response to that joke. I had 2 people, left-handed people, gross, flick me off.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, man, it wasn't bad. I think one of them meant it. The other one, I think they were just joking, because when I got off stage, because there was a guy and a girl. The girl that flicked me off, her husband gave me dabs. Like, oh, that's good shit, man. I was like, oh, thanks. I thought you were gonna kick my ass because your woman's a freak. Nah, I'm just kidding. My wife's left-handed. It's fine. But yeah, it's just there's this movie. I'm gonna share my ridiculous thing, and then I want one more thing from you. There's this movie called Sound of Metal. It has Ahmed. I can't think of his name, but he was one half of the rap group Sweatshop Boys. He's in Star Trek or Star Wars. But in this movie, he plays a drummer. He's acting as a drummer who is in a touring metal band and starts losing his hearing. And it was a great movie. It's something that I was concerned about, losing my hearing, playing music so loud and all that stuff. I was so fucking turned off, and I couldn't focus on the movie because he fucking played left-handed. If you're going to act, if you're going to learn how to act to play drums, at least do it right-handed. Throws me off. Anyway.
Why? Why does that?
Because it's backwards. He plays everything backwards. Like, okay, there's a thing.
Does it sound bad? Like,
It looks weird.
So it looks weird. The sound is fine. Like, there.
If I went like this, I could probably still tell that. Oh, that's a left-handed drummer. Left-handed for sure.
I think that's bullshit.
I bet you I could. I bet you I've never tested it. I've never challenged it, but I could tell. They hit differently. They have I could tell. If they play okay, so you know how the drum set's set up, right? You have the snare, tom, floor tom, hi-hat. If they set up like that and play match stick, not cross stick, if they play like that, I respect it. You're at least trying to play the correct way. But they will set it up the opposite way. Hi-hat, snare, tom, floor tom, play backwards. And visually, it fucks me up. I was like, what am I looking at? Am I like, is this mirrors? What the fuck's going on? Don't like it.
So here's the thing. With the Crocs, I've met people who agree with me that they're ugly. Like, you agree that they're ugly.
Yeah.
I haven't really met anyone who agrees with me on a level that I view it as.
Yeah.
Like, I get irrational like
Does
I do.
it give you like ooey vibes? Like, ugh.
I've seen people and been like, oh, they're kind of cute. And then I look down at their feet and I'm like, nope, not anymore.
Wow.
Nothing. Like, it immediately turned off.
Game changer.
But here's the thing about that is, so like I've met people who agree with me. I've never met anyone who agrees with me on the level that I agree with. But with your left-handed drumming thing,
yeah.
Is that like a common like feeling in the music community, like drummer
I don't know.
community?
I don't know.
You never.
I don't know. I mean, like left-handed guitar players, like Jimi Hendrix, John Frusciante, left-handed drummers. I was in a band with a left-handed drummer. I allowed him in my band. So it's not that it's completely not all left-handed people. And the point of the joke is like, it's to make fun of how people are so. It's stupid to hate somebody that's out of somebody's control. Yeah, that's the point of the joke. Yeah. They don't get that. That's what I'm saying because I'm saying like
they just hear the hate.
I was like, be who you are 100% unless you're left-handed. Because yeah, even though it makes me feel weird, even though I don't like seeing it, do whatever you want. Do whatever you need to do.
Have you ever heard a joke and like felt it like personally?
No, I don't think so.
Never? Not even before you were a comic or anything?
I don't think so.
No?
No, you?
One time.
Which one?
And I don't even know why I reacted that way. I don't even know why afterwards I was like, that was fucking stupid. Why did that hit me like that for a second? I don't want to say who it was, but they made
a local person?
Yeah. They made a joke about being diabetic, like about diabetes.
That was me.
No. They weren't diabetic. They made a joke about diabetes, and for some reason, I was just like, it bothered me for like half a second. I was like, and I was like, wait, why? It's a fucking joke. Like, why? Like, but like for a minute, like I got real sensitive about it. Like, but immediately I was like, that's fucking dumb. Don't. That's the only time it's ever happened to me.
No, I don't think so. There's been people. There's been people that repeat memes on stage. As if it's one of their own jokes.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like. We're supposed to be fucking getting you in trouble, and now you're just putting it on me. I can't help it. But okay, so so you're on Facebook. Do you have like, is it a personal page or is it a comedian page?
It's a personal page.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when people start comedy pages, I don't have one separate. I don't understand the different, like the reason behind it. I mean, one is like professional, one's personal. It doesn't matter to me. But when people have like a comedy page, I am a comedian. This is my profession. And then they post other people's memes without giving them credit. It's not like they shared somebody else's page meme.
Yeah.
They copied it and they zoomed in to take out any of the like watermarks or any of the names of who created it. They'll post it on their page and get like 20 fucking laughs. 20 fucking reactions.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you, like, I know, and
it was you someone who's like
who's claiming to be original artist, to claim to be like, I know that there's regular people that share memes all the time, and I've had my meme shared, and they didn't give me credit, but they put it was like a wrestling meme, and then they put it on the wrestling joke page. Fucking blew up, but my name was not on there. I got so fucking pissed off because like it should have been my responses.
It's your shit.
It should have been like I should have got credit for that, or at least whatever. But when I see people like post, and like civilians are not civilians, but people that don't do open mics or don't do comedy, don't have a comedy page, happens all the time. It is what it is. That's like street rules, you know. People steal memes all the time. But when a comedian or somebody who claims to be a comedian does that,
like
I'm just
has their own page for it.
What the fuck are you doing? I don't understand when people don't put original content on their own comedy page, and they'll just take whatever. And those people also don't have a problem with saying meme jokes on stage. What else pisses you off?
We're not done with that. To me, they're not real comedians because like you wouldn't see like fucking I don't know Dave Chappelle have his own page and post someone else's memes on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't see an actual comedian do that like that. That they wouldn't.
No.
Like, and those people that you're talking about, like, I have a feeling that sorry, now we're getting me in trouble. I hate it when I see someone who and I've only been in the scene a couple months, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen people join the scene like after me, and then like a month in, they got like their own fucking comedy page, or like they got they're selling like merch, like. I guess like
merch is different. If you like business,
like
business
a
get
month,
money.
A month. I don't.
I allow it. I mean, I understand why you would judge
Like,
on
he
that.
just-
I understand why you would judge on that, but also at the same time, I mean, like coming from like
Is anyone buying that merch?
well, that's a whole other thing.
But
coming from like from the band perspective,
Yeah.
you know, like I would join bands. We would print shirts before even playing a show. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I get it. It's the same thing as because we were like, well, we got to set. We have to, like we're gonna fucking blow people's minds. Of course, they're gonna want to buy our T-shirts.
did you sell shirts
Yeah,
before you did a show?
yeah.
Like you sold them like
Well,
after
not before, but we sold them at the show.
at the show afterwards. People bought the shirts.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
not all of them.
I didn't sell all of them.
We probably sold a shirt.
I like right now. If I had merch, I wouldn't think anybody would buy it. Like
But-
I wouldn't.
But the plan is you're gonna have merch. You're gonna have something to present, and maybe if people dig you so much, but you're also not gonna sell out the first show. You're gonna carry this the whole time that you're fucking doing it.
Well, the way I look at it is like the comedy page or the merch. Like, I feel like, and again, who the fuck am I? But like the way I think about it, like I feel like you're not it doesn't seem like you're putting time and effort into your actual craft, but you're putting time on a fucking page and merch and like but your jokes are shit. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not selling out arenas. I have a lot of growth to do as a comedian. I think I've done a lot of growth in the past couple months since I first started, for sure.
Yeah.
But because that's what I've focused on, like, and that's what I am focused on. Like, I'm not fucking focused on my fucking comedian page. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you're fucking killing it and you're selling merch and you got your own page and you've been doing this for a couple months, awesome.
Yeah.
Like, props to you. Like, yeah, you're getting booked, you're doing great. That's cool. And I've seen some people do that, but most of the time it's not the case. And so I guess that fucking bothers me. I don't know.
Oh,
that wasn't a thing, but
I get it.
you know.
No, that is a thing. That's something that you don't like.
Yeah.
You don't like certain people in the local comedy scene. And I respect it. Believe me.
No.
I respect it.
I don't think there's anyone that I don't. Well, that's a lie.
See, now you're just trying to get booked. Now you're just trying to get booked.
The people that I don't like don't book anything. But there are definitely people.
See, that's even worse. You're going after people that have no power. I've gone after people that could book me for some shows, and I was just like,
You know what?
Fuck it.
I'll tell you, there are 3 people who book shows that I'm like, I don't think you're funny. I've heard your shit. I don't laugh. Like, I don't understand. I feel like
they're good at business.
Yeah,
They're good at business.
that's what I've figured out is they've been around long enough. They know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
They don't have to write any new jokes. They can tell the same jokes they were telling 5 years ago.
So the audience doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care if you're telling somebody else's joke.
Yep.
They don't care if they like the familiarity of it. Like, oh, I've seen that meme before. I know where that's from, and they're completely fine with that.
Yeah.
Is that fair? No, but you want them to have a good time regardless.
But here's, for me, the way I look at it, like I don't want to make any enemies. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
Like,
You shouldn't make them
I
here
want
then.
it. I'm cool. Like
now you got that patted hell stank on you. They're gonna be like, man, fuck
that's
this guy.
fine. Some people already like that with me. I feel like no, there are people that like I made friends with in the beginning who like don't fuck with me at all right now.
Yeah.
And for shit that I had had nothing to do with me. Like they just other shit. But like I that's cool. Like you don't fuck with me, you don't fuck with me. Like it's not that doesn't hurt my feelings. Like I just.
Yeah,
I try to be cool with everybody, and but yeah, if I don't think you're funny,
I go back and forth. I started off the podcast saying that like I do want everybody to I want to be friends with everybody. I don't want to have any enemies, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be two-faced about it. I'm not gonna say one thing to one person and then be fake to their face and all that stuff. I don't have a lot of friends in the scene, which is fine. I didn't come into this to make friends. I came into this to be on stage and get good at that.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if I had like more counter friends and more opportunities. But if I don't,
I thought you had friends. I didn't know you'd have any friends.
No, not that I don't have friends, but I know that I've made enemies.
Oh yeah, for sure you made enemies. I'm well aware of that.
Thanks for watching.
You're on wanted posters everywhere.
That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan, but it's also it's fun. It is fun. Man, thanks for doing the podcast, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me,
fun?
man.
How you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little amped right now, talking about shit that pisses me off.
I feel a whole lot better.
That croc anger is still raging inside of me right now.
It made me laugh, so I appreciate that.
So, I've thought about turning that into a bit, but I just can't find a way to do it and not be fucking angry
and not just
on
go
stage
off
about
on
it.
the anger shit,
which is gonna turn the audience off immediately.
Yeah, you gotta understand it before you could like make something out of it.
Yeah,
it comes from something. It stems from something.
I'm working on it.
But yeah, Twitter, Instagram. How can people find you again? And do that all again.
At Jake Has Jokes on Instagram. At Jake Has Jokes on TikTok. Which. I need to put some TikTok videos out. I should work on that. You can catch me at Rebecca Creek on November 19th and at the Blind Tiger for, most Friday nights at the Midnight Show. And for the Storytelling Show on November 25th. Fantastic Damage.
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram, at YourHomiePat, BabaColdCore.com. Hopefully, if all goes well, this will go out tomorrow. So I have Fantastic Damage tomorrow, October 29th, 8th, 10 p.m., BabaColdCore.com. And, latest.
But he rumbled and stumbled.